You started off your career initially by you used to supply to stores. You actually had your clothing.
Yes.
Yeah. And then at some point you decided, no, I want to do my own label, right? So what
yeah.
was it? What is it that gave you the courage or the inspiration for you to do it? I mean, you were an entrepreneur before entrepreneurship was fashionable, so.
So I was supplying to the stores, and I was very, very, what you term as commercially successful. In fact, the business was financially extremely profitable. The business was making a lot of money. But somewhere deep down, I was extremely dissatisfied because I was catering to the whims of what the stores wanted me to buy. I felt that the stores did not really understand what the Indian consumer wanted. And I was just doing what they wanted me to do. So what the stores wanted then was just a lot of heavy embroidery, and anything with embroidery sold. And I was looking to express myself with a very clean design aesthetic. I created while I was supplying to these stores. And I created these very, very simple clothing almost 20 years ago, just simple white shirts, black trousers, simple shift dresses, very much today what contemporary Indian woman dresses.
Yeah.
And I took the collection to the stores, and all of them rejected it. And these were all of them were your largest retailers in the country. One by one, I only met with rejection.
Yeah.
That really spurred me on to look at avenues of where I could now sell this, which is why I invested in my first store.
Okay.
Everybody said that if all the leading retailers of the country think that this line won't work, how can you open a store? But I had shown the line to friends, and I was already selling it to them, and I knew that the modern Indian woman wanted it. It's just that those stores didn't understand that need. And for me, it wasn't a risk. I was pretty sure what I was doing when I started my first store, and it was a success. I think literally from the time I started hanging the clothes and even setting it up, they were selling.
Where was your first store?
It was at Crossroads, which was the first mall in India at Haji Ali. I think that was my first success I tasted with retail. And it was a heady rush because there was no in-between person. There were no stores in between to dictate to me. It was me creating, me selling to the consumer directly.
Yeah.
And that was an experience I enjoyed so much, and I think that's how I got into, always making sure that I sold from my own stores.